Hey everybody, this is Val here with Role Playing Public Radio, where I'm introducing you to a very little known game that I don't think has been covered on RPPR before. It's kind of like the X-Files if you took the government conspiracy part of it a little bit more seriously. It's called Delta Green by an up-and-coming studio, Arc Dream. They're kind of indie. I don't think they've been around for very long. And I don't know how it's going to turn out for them. So we're going to give them a little bit of free press today and see how that works out. Let's just go ahead and go down the list in Discord order. Introduce yourselves, introduce your character, and then if you have anything you want to plug, please go ahead and do so.
Hey, it's Russ Payton with Role Playing Public Radio. I'm happy to be a guest on Role Playing Public Radio. It's really cool here at RPPR Actual Play. Check out my podcast, Role Playing Public Radio. I also do another one called Leto Narrative Dissonance, and yeah, it's pretty neat. Anyways, I'm playing Agent JULIAN. Character's actual name is Erik Sørensen. And they are a antiques expert, historian class or occupation in the thing. But yeah, the kind of person employed by auction houses and other institutions to say, is this a forgery or is it not? And Erik specializes in rare books, which in the Delta Green setting has special implications. So we'll find out what those are, I guess.
All right, I am Yeti. You can find me on Twitter, Left-Handed Yeti. I am playing Emma Masterson. She is a former naval intelligence officer and now works as a consultant for Rand Corporation.
All right, I'm Faye. You know who I am. Don't look for me. I'm playing Estelle Cunegonde. She's a former wildlife forensic scientist who is often tasked with investigating animal smuggling cases over borders, specifically French and Spanish borders, where she was operating previously. And during that previous operation, some things may have gone seriously south, which has led to what you will see during the session.
I'm so excited for this group. I put together a bunch of extra information for this setting. So we're going to be doing this as a one-shot scenario. If everybody has fun and like it, we will come back and do more. I buried a bunch of hooks and strings into the text of this adventure, so hopefully we'll pick up on those and enjoy it. Again, Delta Green, very new game. I think it just came out. So excited to demo it for the very first time.
Yeah, I actually found them through their, they're making a Black Armies TTRPG or something. That's where I learned about Delta Green.
Black
Unknown Armies, you mean?
Unknown Armies. No, Black Company.
Black Company.
Yeah, okay.
I am, of course, as Val. You may know me as Bridget, Brisket, Basket, Budget, Bisquick, or Bismuth. And of course, I'm the host of Role Playing Public Radio. I am RPPR's most innovative GM. I am the most beloved fan guest on Delta Green Dead Channels, which is the thing that I want to shout out. Caleb does a podcast called Delta Green Dead Channels, and Faye and I are on it.
Go listen to Two Friendlies.
You'll listen to Two Friendlies. Faye and I are two toxic lesbians that manipulate the people around us and destroy everything important in our relationship. And then we also play Delta Green on Two Friendlies.
Yeah, we're really trying to get it, a little bit more into the spotlight of TTRPGs. Also, Ross is there. Ross plays the token straight DEA agent who has just been subject to two toxic lesbians. It's very funny. It's very funny.
One of the highlights, I think, of Two Friendlies is when we make Ross think too hard about the choices he's made in his life. So do you want to
take some sand damage from it? I'm still laughing about that weeks
Ross
later.
takes more sanity damage from self-introspection the entirety of that adventure.
Wait, isn't Delta Green supposed to be relatively grounded? This sounds pretty far-fetched.
All right,
we're taking liberties.
Yeah.
The setup is Ross and Faye are playing agents who've been around the block before, and Yeti is playing an agent who this is her first rodeo. So let's keep that in mind. Alrighty, your burner phone vibrates in your pocket, receiving a text message from the only number saved in its contact list. It's a very simple message, a J, followed by a series of 16 letters and a time code. You transpose the characters into numbers using the cipher you've been taught, and discover the meeting place and time for your activation. 10 a.m., November 30th, in the parking lot of the In-N-Out Burger off Highway 76 in Oceanside, California. How are you getting to Oceanside, California?
In-N-Out Burger.
Let's see. How close is that to LA? Or is that part of LA?
It's like San Diego.
Okay. Let's, I imagine Julian's more of an East Coast. Agent Julian is more of an East Coast person, so they're going to Yeah, hop on a plane. Be like, it's easy to make excuses. It's just like, yeah, I got a lead on something new for the auction house. So don't worry about it.
A big case of fraud going down, some insurance fraud. I got to go look at. Might be a few days.
Well, it's more like this rich person has some antiques, and I need to go authenticate them. And maybe if they're real, we can sell them and get a nice fat commission. Yeah. So
got a lead. Some guy texted me, make me an offer.
Yeah, well, it's very easy to lie and bullshit about in a job in the antiquities trade. Yeah,
an offer. And
so yeah, hop on a plane and head over, and
flying economy.
Oh no, business. This is
business.
This is on the company.
All right, so you're going to be a little cushier then. I was going to make you lose some willpower if you're taking a red eye. Yeti, how is Agent Jennifer getting to California?
Well, that doesn't sound good because I was thinking about taking a red eye economy flight. So standard bevy of work excuses. I mean, she's an analyst. I'm sure she could. Analyst and former Navy. I'm probably pull some strings, make some calls, some friends and that are still in that live in the area that could have them make some phone calls and say, oh yeah, we need her for some policy question that we have that we're rolling out like a new, it's like command's thinking about, the command at San Diego is thinking about rolling out like a new equal opportunity program. And before they roll it out, they want to talk through policy implications and policy implementation because that's what Masterson is at Rand for. So pulling some strings with friends, taking a little quote unquote work vacation, and then driving up to Oceanside.
I'm pretty sure they buy that, like, because that's within your job description. That is the kind of thing they lease contractors out for. Should be fine.
Yeah, and of course, everything in the military is a last second emergency. So
exactly. Then Faye, what is Estelle up to? How is she getting here?
I think she's driving. I think Estelle is driving, and this is important because she lives in fucking Bellingham, right up by the Canadian border. So that's going to be like...
That's like a 20-hour drive.
Solid 20-hour drive, yeah. I don't think that...
You want to test your willpower for?
It's going to be a little bit of a willpower test. Am I just rolling? What am I rolling here?
Like power 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, power times 5.
I do make that with a 49 under 50.
Okay, so you're staying awake. You're doing fine. You've still got quite a lot of energy. Very tiring though. You're gonna want to be able to take a nap if you can, or you're gonna start losing some willpower.
Okay, I think as far as work goes, I don't think Estelle is employed right now after the recent burning of bridges, and I don't think there's really anybody that would ask about where she is aside from her single remaining bond that isn't doing so.
So is she sleeping on that bond's couch, or does she have rent paid for a month? Like,
I mean, she was a wildlife forensic scientist. She was earning bank. So I don't really think that money is necessarily an issue for at least the next year.
She could probably go put herself into a cheaper apartment if she had to.
Yes.
The parking lot of the In-N-Out is not very active at this time of the day. It's still a half hour till open, and most of the vehicles in the parking lot presumably belong to staff. However, there is a gray sedan parked slightly away from the rest of the pack, sitting dead center on the coordinates you were given. You find the doors unlocked, and you all calmly enter the vehicle to find your handler, Agent Jobez, sitting in the driver's seat, ashing a cigarette out a crack in the window. What do you say?
What does Agent Jobez look like?
Agent Jobez is a very tired-looking woman that appears to be in her 50s. You're not sure if that's from overwork or if she actually is. Her hair is definitely graying. There's more gray than there is color left into it. And she looks incredibly unhappy to see all of you. You don't know if that's just her default personality or if, she's not particularly thrilled.
Do I know Agent Jovez, or do I at least recognize her from like previous missions?
Yeah, she used to be the handler for K-Cell and S-Cell.
Okay. All right. What time of day is it?
10 in the morning.
Morning, Joves.
Good morning. And she stresses, Julian. Pleasure working with you again.
It's a change of pace from dealing with rich assholes. So,
Of course. I'm sure this is something of a fun getaway for you.
well, I wouldn't use fun, but at least it's not boring.
May I introduce you to your new associates, Agent Jennifer and Agent JöRMUNGANDR?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Estelle frowns at the code name.
Ross, can you roll in ×5 for me?
That is a fail, 87.
Okay. I won't worry about that then.
All right. JöRMUNGANDR, I thought the whole point of the code names is that we could use them in public without people thinking that those were our actual names, you know?
Yes, well, sometimes a little bit of gallows humor brings levity to a situation.
Okay. Yeah, well, what is it? Or is this going to be a long one, or is this, a day or two?
This is going to be a 3-day trip.
Okay, not bad, I guess. What is it?
Are we all, really quick, are we all just outside her window?
No, you got in the car.
Okay, good.
We're in the car.
You've been pulled because JCell is the closest available unit. And she hands out some briefing materials. They're printouts of photographs of an island. Looks like it is a volcanically active island. It has, but not like a huge mountain or anything. And on the opposite side of the ridgeline, close to the shore, is a large manor. There are pictures of the dock for the manor and a handful of supporting buildings, probably taken from some kind of flyover. She says there is a tiny island in the Philippine Sea known as Inukhaijima, and it's more or less a rounding error after the 1971 Okinawa Reversion Treaty. It is the private residence of a John Anthony Titus. He's an eccentric collector and CEO of Ogre, a PMC often contracted by the U.S. military, USAID, and North American NGOs. The major feature of this island is Galeria Minor, ostensibly Titus's part-year residence and permanent home to his vast collection of arcane art pieces and mystic minutiae. You've been activated because a week ago, Galeria Minor's contractor purchased a number of goods from a private bulk auction, primarily old first edition texts. Some of them have been flagged by our system, requiring your investigation. Codename for your investigation will be Operation Triple Strategy, and we will be assisted by one friendly, a retired U.S. Marine colonel by the name of Albert Wesley. He's received a dinner invitation from Titus for the evening of December 3rd, and you'll be traveling with him to said dinner invitation as his +1. From here, Albert will use his credentials and favors from staff at Camp Pendleton to secure your transportation to Marine Corps Air Station Futenma in Okinawa, Japan. And I need to stress this next part. The flight does not exist, so you will be entering Japanese waters without official consent. So do not leave Futenma, do not enter the surrounding city of Ginowan, and do not interact with any locals unless absolutely necessary. We cannot extract you from legal disputes with the local government. Do you understand?
Yes.
Estelle nods.
All right, so basically lay low, stay out of trouble until we leave Futenma for the island.
Exactly. From Futenma, the next day, you will board a commercial vessel that services Inukhaijima and attend the dinner. During the dinner, you are to investigate the grounds of Galeria Manor and locate and secure all of the flag texts. There's a list for them in the supplementary material. Additionally, if you find anything else that requires containment, you will secure that as well. You're to transport the secured articles back with you to Futenma, where they will be received by the new K-Cell, who will debrief you. In the event that there are too many articles for you to transport feasibly, you're to destroy anything you believe you can dispose of safely, and find a way to transport the rest. After you've been debriefed by the new K-Cell, you'll get on a flight with Albert back to the US. In the trunk are materials that you will need. Open it before you leave.
Yeah, we're stealing a bunch of shit?
Yes, you are stealing a bunch of shit from a rich guy that has his own private island.
Okay. He has his own private army too, right?
Yes, he does own a PMC.
Okay.
Is there anything relevant that we need to know about Ogre that's not publicly available?
Any information that we have on Ogre will be included in the supplementary materials that I have in the trunk of the car.
Okay. And we're just kind of supposed to figure out how we're going to steal it at dinner. We're going to have like any, I guess we
You're
have
all
some
capable agents, so I'm sure that you'll be able to figure out the details on your own on site.
Do you have any idea how many people he has on this island in terms of staff and security and all that?
Any information we have on that is included in the supplementary materials in the trunk.
Okay.
I guess someone should go out and get those.
Are
Can you pop the
there
trunk real quick?
She pops the trunk and says, as soon as you grab the materials, you need to meet with the friendly, and she will take off because operational security demands that she is nowhere near here when you begin your operation.
Okay, just one last question. What if things go pear-shaped? I assume we can act to defend ourselves, but like, what about Titus? Is it if I don't know if he happens to catch a bullet or something, is that bad?
As much as possible, please attempt to avoid an international incident. There's a limit to the number of things that we can cover up.
Okay.
An accident were to happen to Titus, I would suggest that you create an accident to his residence as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. If he has this many flagged items, Jesus. All right. Yeah. Great. Well,
Okay.
I didn't want to be bored.
She pops the trunk, says good luck, and demands you leave the vehicle.
So where are we rendezvousing with the colonel?
Right here, actually.
Okay. All right.
Oh, well, it's convenient.
So you go into the trunk to find your supplementary materials, and there are 4 lawyer bags there, these big bags that open on the top that can carry a huge amount of paperwork. And when you open them, just to check, you are not surprised to find that there is a huge amount of paperwork in them. It looks like absolutely everything necessary or even vaguely related to the case have been dumped into these bags. And that's all you're getting.
So, like, not even, put in correctly, like papers folded and stuffed and...
No, they're just jammed in there. They're not indexed. They're not marked.
Great.
Some of them still smell like printer ink. Like, she just finished putting this shit together for you.
Jesus Christ.
You collect your bags. She takes off. And then you see your friendly. There's an affable man in his late 50s or 60s. Looks in pretty good shape despite his age, though he has a bit of a stomach, probably from enjoying too much nice food and alcoholic beverages. He's very confident in his appearance. He has loose khakis, polo shirt, snazzy windbreaker, and is wearing Crocs and socks.
What color?
Oh, baby blue.
Baby blue.
The socks or the Crocs?
His hair is neat and tidy, and his comb-over look appears to be like just from pure habit of parting his hair from one side, not that he's at all trying to hide the fact that he's going bald. Very much like a kindly old man kind of vibe. And he's hanging out at the In-N-Out order window.
I go and join him at the In-N-Out order window.
Same.
I guess I'll lug my bag over there.
He sees all of you and he says, "Oh, you must be kids here to meet me." And he sticks his hand out. Says, "Colonel, retired, Albert Wesley."
Is he righty or lefty?
Right-handed.
All right, yeah. Shake. Very firm grip.
Yeah.
He also has a very firm grip, but it's not like aggressively so. He's like, "Oh, good handshake there."
I'd like to order as well.
All right, what do you want? I've got them getting some stuff for me.
I don't know. Does In-N-Out have like sliders and shit?
Yeah, they do small burgers and fries.
Yeah. 3 orders of sliders.
You just want a bunch of double doubles? Okay. So it's not yet open, but it appears that like perhaps Colonel Wesley comes here fairly often because they're already making his order, even though they're not technically open.
Being a colonel has its perks.
After a while, they give you his order. It is 4 large Cokes and 7 or 8 bags stuffed to the brim with double doubles and fries.
That's just his order?
Yeah, and he motions to the rest of you. He's like, hey, if you can help me carry these bags out to my car, we can go get started.
Estelle opens one of the lawyer bags just to consolidate weight.
No. Julia's just immediately like, no. Here, I'll carry the lawyer bag. You can carry the food. We're not getting grease on the paperwork.
Yeah, we're supposed to read these.
It takes you over to a fairly nice BMW. It's not like a super new model. It seems to just be a very comfortable car for him. And when you get in, he passes out the bags of food and the Cokes, and he says it's going to be a really long flight, and there won't be an in-flight meal. So I know it's pretty early, but you should try and eat as much as you can. And,
I'm already eating.
Doubles.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, so we already have our own go bags and stuff with us as well, I assume. So
yeah, you can have one small bag on you, or a suitcase or other small carry-on that has whatever your normal EDC is.
Okay.
Maybe that EDC.
There's 2 backpacks in the back seat. One of them is empty. And he says, whatever you're not going to eat, just put it in the backpack and we can have it later.
I put all of my food in there. I do drink the Coke, though.
I dutifully eat the food. There is no enjoyment in Estelle's eyes as she fucking houses these sliders. It looks bad. It looks not good. This is like the reverse version of mukbang, where it's like you don't watch someone eat a bunch of food and enjoy it. You watch someone who's suffering through this food.
He's like, wow, you got quite an appetite for such a small lady.
She just pauses, stares at him, through him, goes back to eating.
I know. Like, do I need to take a sand check for this much food? Like this isn't.
It's pretty unnerving, but it's not exactly unnatural.
Okay, so it's like
it's a little upsetting.
I just kind of take notes.
You weren't like a competitive eater at any point, were you?
Experienced with eating. And it's at this point you notice the hand she's holding the burger with is missing 2 fingers.
All right. Ross, would you please roll an int times 5 plus 20?
Yeah, I make that.
So in green boxes and the like, agents can leave information for other agents as long as they don't, leave too much identifying information. And in the green boxes you've been working with lately, there's like a rumor mill going through it. There is suggestion of a specific agent, a thin, pallid woman who is some kind of omen of ill fortune. If you get assigned with her, it is almost assured that you're going to die. And the rumors can't agree on how. Some just say that the mission is going to go sideways no matter what. And the most dire ones suggest that if you get assigned with her, it is because the agency wishes for you to disappear, and she will swallow your bones whole.
All right.
JöRMUNGANDR matches this description quite well.
You've been staring at her a little too long. She's noticed and stares back at you.
Do I notice this, or am I just happy as a clam eating my burger?
I think you probably noticed this. You see the interaction between the two of them where they're just kind of staring at each other uncomfortably.
Gonna politely not say anything, and I'm gonna finish my burger.
Very politic. So you head up the 4-lane road up to the entrance to Camp Pendleton. There's a little station. The guard is very cordial to Colonel Wesley. He's like, "Oh, hey, Colonel, is it a little bit early for tea time?" And he says, "Oh, no games today. I'm just here on business." He's like, "That's all right. I'll call up and let him know you're coming." And he waves you through with no problems. He doesn't even ask anything about the other people in the car. He probably comes by many times, and as a retired colonel, he has a certain amount of base privileges.
No credential check, no magnetic check, no nothing. Just, oh, hey, man, you got weird guys. Go ahead.
Just, oh, hey, man. Well, the through line here is Colonel Wesley would know better. So if you're with him, it's probably okay.
The best kind of operational security. This guy's been here, so it's okay.
Yeah. So you roll into Camp Pendleton. You go park. It's right by the sick airway where they filmed The Flying Leathernecks, a John Wayne movie from the 50s.
Oh my God.
And no sooner have you parked and gotten out of the vehicle than you are greeted by two dudes in very nice looking outfits. They introduce themselves as Colonel David Moore and Sergeant Major Curtis Rice. They offer to shake your hands, and of course they're very cordial with the retired colonel as well. Said, "Good afternoon, ladies. Welcome to Munn Field."
Shake their hands. Afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really offer anything else, but
They're not really looking for names either.
Yeah.
You'll notice that Albert didn't ask you for yours either. He said, "We're still getting things ready for you, so would you mind a cursory tour of the 3rd Marine Aircraft Group 39, just for old times' sake."
sure.
Albert
Yeah, we got
accepts.
nothing else to do.
Well, we could
Take you over to.
Yeah. How long do we have before we fly?
They're still getting some things ready. It'll be a little bit.
Okay.
So they take you on a tour of the airfield, and it's kind of surprising because, like, if this is where you're supposed to get your ride, you have no fucking clue which of these you're going to be actually taking, because it's mostly helicopters, Super Cobras, Vipers, Venoms, and a couple of Osprey and some drones. The only passenger craft is a UC-12W Huron. This is not something that if you're going all the way to Japan, you would be in these things.
Do any of these even have like the fuel capacity?
No, none of them have the operational area, like even close, like maybe 10% of the distance if you fly it on fumes.
Huh.
You're standing around looking at them, and you are greeted by another set of guys in even nicer uniforms. They introduce themselves as Brigadier General Jason Wordworth and Sergeant Major Fausto Cabrera. And they're a little cagey. Like they're here to meet the colonel, and they're very nice and polite, but they're a little bit concerned. So they have a conversation with Albert, and they're like, "Are you sure that this is how you want to run this? I mean, the 1st Marine Aircraft Wings made good. We've got your ride, but this is a little unorthodox." And Colonel Wesley assures them that, yep, everything's above board. He's just taking a quick business trip. You know how it is.
Do any of the guards seem like, not guards, do any of the guys here seem like nervous or like put off? Or is it just kind of like, well, this isn't really normal, but it's fine?
Most of the staff is very pointedly not looking at you.
I see. So a little familiar with this, maybe.
A little bit familiar with this.
All right.
You've been informed that your ride is ready. And so they take you over to the runway where you see a couple people building about as they are loading a KC-130J Super Hercules. It is ready to receive passengers. You see a couple other guys just in suits, not in uniforms or anything, hanging out near the ramp. And everybody is pointedly ignoring them, too.
Are they're the type that could be agents?
Yeah, there are 3 dudes who are very straight-backed. They look like they're very passively taking in a lot of information. Wearing sunglasses.
Is it possible to see any like outlines of concealed weapons on their suits? Or are they, undercover cop kind of baggy clothes?
Making an alert.
Right. I'm super fucking good at that. That's a 68 under 70.
Probably, like, from the way they're standing, like, they probably have some kind of carry inside their jackets. And you also can tell that they have, like, their collar pulled up, but there's still just a little bit of a tattoo visible.
All of them have that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Is it significant enough to demarcate them as belonging to any certain group, or is it just kind of can't quite tell?
It is. Do you have any kind of military skill?
I have military science.
Yeah, actually, you would know.
11 under 40.
Oh, great.
So these guys look like they're probably part of Navy Special Operations. So the fact that they're not in uniform and they're standing around in a plane that, like, the Brigadier General asked if it was chill, they're probably here for something important you're not supposed to know about.
Just like us.
No. Never good when the SEALs get involved.
Never good when the SEALs get involved.
All right, then.
Well, if we have some time to wait, I'm going to like find a place to sit down and like open up the lawyer
Oh
bag.
no,
I'm
the plane
carrying.
is ready for
Okay.
passengers.
All right.
As soon as you want to go in, you can go in.
We're going to have time on the plane.
You're going to have so much time on the plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are we going to have the privacy on the plane? That's the question.
Privacy? Yeah, sure. Nobody's going to bother you.
Okay.
was this going to be like a fucking loud as hell cargo plane?
Yeah, if you
Yup.
get in a Hercules or a Super Hercules.
No. All right.
So
Yep.
it's a cargo plane, you know, open plan design. There are no seats. Okay, there are a couple seats. There are some beds that are bolted to the side of the plane, and there are 4 crew chairs up near where the cockpit is. But they're all occupied. It looks like the usual crew of 4 pilots, 1 crew chief, 1 loadmaster has been tripled because this is a long goddamn flight. The cots are probably for shift rotation. You imagine that they're going to be alternately sleeping and working. There's no other cargo. It appears that they are just carrying you. It's very weird. Normally, if you're going to take the trouble of spending the fuel and sending a plane somewhere, you'd have something on it. So it's likely that Colonel Wesley burnt a lot of favors to make this happen. As you are heading up the ramp, they hand you little cases of disposable earplugs. They point at your ears and stress the importance of wearing them.
All right. Well, I'm going to roll up my foamies and stick them in and get in the plane, I guess.
Yep.
Not much else to do here at the military base.
When you get on, the crew chief points at a couple things that might be helpful for you to know about. First is the bathroom. It is just a little curtained off area near the ramp. And then next is along the sides of the plane. There are little jacks. There's little plugins for like these big corded headphones. He explains that if you want to hear anything, you should put those on. They've got microphones attached. However, they are all cabled, so try not to get yourself caught in them as you move around the plane. Otherwise, he says, you know, welcome to your ride. I hope that you have a pleasant trip.
Oh no!
All right.
Yeah, I think Estelle just finds a wall and slumps down against it and stares Julian the entire time.
Julian just does not give a shit and is entirely focused on the contents of the bag. Because Julian's like, this is definitely a matter of life or death, and the stuff in this bag may keep me alive. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They close the ramp up. The crew politely offers one of the crew chairs to Colonel Wesley, who, the second the plane is in the air, falls asleep. It looks like he has done this kind of thing a lot.
Amazing.
So
Truly,
the plane is loud as shit. It shakes all the goddamn time. It alternates between too cold and too hot. But yeah, so during the flight here, I will let you research the documents you've been given. You can roll accounting, history, law, or occult. You get something no matter what. Good successes or critical successes get more stuff. Everybody can make 2 rolls as you read through a shit ton of material on the way to Japan.
Yeah, reading.
So you said accounting, history, law, and occult?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I only have one of those, so I'm going to roll 26 under 40.
Okay. Titus's private islands are in a very interesting location legally. It's too far from Japan and too close to Taiwan. So it would be a nightmare trying to prosecute any wrongdoing occurring on the island.
Okay, cool. History.
All right.
Yeah, make that.
John Anthony Titus is actually part of a branch family. The major branch seems to have withered and died in the early to mid 20th century. Titus himself has no children or grandchildren, or if he does, they are not located on any family register.
Branch family, like, is he part of a prestigious family from Japan, actually? Or is he just some fucking American guy?
Some fucking American guy.
Amazing. Okay.
He's that Kennedy that they don't talk about.
Jesus. Which one?
Oh, no.
They don't talk about him. We don't know.
All right, JöRMUNGANDR, are you looking through files?
I think I will, but first, like, you know, some distance through the flight, she just stands up whenever there's less turbulence and walks over to Julian and stands over him until she has his attention.
I don't say anything. I just look up and look at you with a kind of like slightly annoyed expression.
She gestures to your food that you haven't eaten yet.
I start eating it.
You would hazard a guess this is disappointment, but she just turns away and goes back to her spot. All right. I will use occult to go through what papers I have. I have occult at 30. That's a 16 under 30.
If any of this historical data is correct, John Anthony Titus has to be at least 140-something years old. It's impossible to rule out some kind of life-extending magic without proof. But if he is doing that kind of thing, it would leave a considerable corpse pile. So that's something to look for on Galarian Manor.
A considerable. It's a private man's island. He's gonna have his own corpse pile regardless.
No, he has the ocean. He could
God.
just,
Right.
you know, recycle, reduce, reuse.
Oh, he's rich. He's not that conscientious.
We all know that the PMC CEO is very, very concerned about the environment.
Yeah.
Would archaeology work as a skill? To read through the documents, or bureaucracy?
Bureaucracy.
Yeah. 14 under 40.
Tracing a history of ogre contracts reveals several shell companies that shuffle around materials and dump losses, making sure that the company books are always healthy.
So, like, is this like standard like corporate practice, or is he being extra shady even by...
Shell companies are pretty standard corporate practice, but like it's very focused on like propping ogre up.
Okay.
So if you need to do that, like it's probably not that like good of a PMC.
Right. So
if he's
someone
making a
is
shit ton of money, he has to be getting it from somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he's not. So ogre's the front. Yeah.
Ogre's what you take to investors to be like, look how good we do.
So where's he actually getting his revenue from? So that is a real question. But yeah, probably that weird cult bullshit is partially the answer for that. I'm guessing. Interesting.
I was say if you're a government contractor and you're losing money, then someone is messing something up or they're skimming off the top.
Also very possible.
What, a government contractor skimming off the top and being incompetent? That's unheard of.
Well, no, but this is like a new
level of incompetence.
This is a new level of skimming off the top. They're skimming so much off the top that they're losing money.
JöRMUNGANDR and Yennefer, you both can make one more roll.
Bureaucracy, anthropology, or law? Anthropology is kind of a stretch, though.
Anthropology is a little stretch. I would do law.
Okay, and that is a 47.
Interpol investigated Ogre in 2013 and again in 2017 on suspicion of Ogre either administrating or aiding a human trafficking ring. No conclusive evidence was ever found.
Yeah, sure.
That was on a fail?
Yeah.
Oh.
You get something regardless. You just get nicer stuff if you succeed.
So, just quick question. You said this is an open floor plan, right? How much of these papers are just kind of going all over the fucking place?
They're all over the place.
I think especially JöRMUNGANDR, once she's done with the paper, just kind of lets it go.
God damn it, JöRMUNGANDR. Yeah, Julian is the exact opposite. Like reading one page at a time, then putting it back in, and like nothing escapes the case. Not a single paper has gotten. Like
I'm trying my best.
Yeah,
I'm trying my best as a former Navy officer, I have sea legs, but those don't really apply at 10,000 feet or whatever. So
Air legs.
yeah.
It's as a super heavy transport. It flies pretty low, so it is extremely uncomfortable and not the fastest plane.
All right, I think Estelle will just not really have the patience to sift through this, but we'll kind of flip through to see if there's anything that immediately catches her eye. I'm just gonna do I have to use a different skill than the first time, or can I use the same skill?
You can use any skill you want.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna use occult again. That shit kind of tends to stand out. That is a 25 under 30.
Titus's nickname in the international community is the Alchemist, allegedly for his ability to turn gold into lead. A joke at the expense of Titus's PMC and R&D corporations. However, the impetus for it may be due to his extensive alchemical research library, as well as an archaic alchemical laboratory rumored to be somewhere on Galeria Manor grounds.
So we've got a pile of corpses, a child trafficking ring, or, well, human trafficking, but generally that deals in children. Pile of corpses, trafficking, alchemical fucking research lab. We've got a couple things here to look out for.
On a private island that is notoriously difficult to investigate.
I mean, Interpol didn't turn up anything, so it's probably fine, right?
Probably fine.
We can trust
everybody. Roll alertness.
No, I failed. 96.
I succeed with the 58.
34 under 40. Barely made that.
So you're about a little over a third, maybe halfway through the flight at this point, and the crew suddenly gets really active. People are getting up and doing stuff. They are all over the plane. They're talking very animatedly over the comms. If you have one of the headsets on, do any of you have headsets on?
I think I put a headset on. Yeah.
Okay. So, despite them moving around so much, this appears to be pretty routine. So whenever they're not discussing important parts of whatever procedure is happening, they're shooting the shit, and they begin talking about something known as the ghost of Futenma. They talk about how the airfield has been haunted in recent years, whether or not they'll see the ghost when they get there, insistence that some of them have seen the ghost, stuff it gets up to. And a little bit through this, the crew chief tells everyone to shut the fuck up because, the colonel doesn't like this particular story.
The colonel's asleep, right?
Yeah.
And we're on the comms. We could talk, right? There's no...
Yeah, you have to shout to be heard, but you are on the comms.
All right, yeah. I think I'll raise my voice and say, elaborate on the ghost.
So, I don't know, a decade back, some personnel went missing and it caused a big stink on the island. And you know how it is. Rumors start, and basically we think that he was murdered in some horrible way. And so his vengeful ghost stalks the hangars of Futenma.
That's not particularly seeded ground for a rumor. Why was he murdered?
I don't know. It's 10, 15 years ago or some shit. It's been around for forever. Probably the person who'd know the most about it is the colonel, because he's stationed there right around when it happened.
Estelle doesn't reply, but makes a mental note to ask the colonel about the ghost of Futenma.
Okay.
This is 20 years ago. It was someone that was stationed there, or was it a local?
It was someone who was stationed there 10, maybe 15 years ago. You don't know the exact timeline. Somebody went missing, and it was a big deal, but they don't know the details of it because, they're more interested in the ghost story than the actual facts. Yeti.
Right. Yes.
You are digging through your section of the papers.
Okay.
And you find an accordion folder with a group of printouts with blurry photos and lines of redacted text. And they are coded in some kind of cipher. They are all stamped destroy in big red ink. And the only thing not encoded on it is a handwritten sticky note. What part of this do you want to look at first, if at all?
Let's check the sticky note first, because that's probably relevant.
The sticky note is handwritten. It says, "I'm sorry, C. God protect you from harm so that you may not feel pain. Signed, V."
Okay. So what's in the folder? What do the documents say? Heavily redacted, so
You got SIGINT?
I do have SIGINT. And I fail. 67 over 60.
So you can probably, if you really work at this, figure out what the cipher is and read it. But it's going to cost you one of your other research rolls.
Okay. I mean, I already rolled the other two, but
Well, yeah, but then you get 2 more for the second half of the trip.
yeah, let's see what this. I'm really interested in this document that should have been destroyed whenever it was finished being reviewed.
You'll last a while in Delta Green.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll a second time. The roll was to see whether you get this for free. So you have to spend a little bit of time puzzling it out. And then you remember that, your phone text message earlier was just a letter and then a cipher you'd memorized that you run it through to decode the text. And you're looking at this and you're like, there's no fucking way, right? So you try a couple of letters and you're grinding that out and you find some success with the letters K and S when paired with the cipher you have. Do you want to read S first or do you want to read K first?
Let's go with K.
Okay. Again, most of it is heavily redacted, so this is just things that you have. Deceased, Kramer, King, Kelly, Khan. Damaged, Kinsey. Following that is a complicated treatise on something called hypergeometry, including pictures of handwritten notes that the little descriptive text suggests have been written by Kinsey. There's huge pages of just completely blacked out lines, followed by the phrase, "Kinsey is too close to it. Advised termination review quarterly." More redacted text. Most of Khan is missing. Kinsey seems to be unaware. Kramer went out on his own. And a note redesignating asset Kinsey as asset Julian.
Okay.
Ross, what's your agent's name?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah. That was clearly a mistake. Yeah. Work product. It has no bearing on our final evaluation.
Yeah, they were supposed to destroy it, so it's probably outdated or something.
Yeah, it's outdated. Yeah, they changed your mind.
Yeah.
Are you moving on to Cipher?
Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Multiple conflicts between personnel. Steele always hated Solomon. Did he set it up? Snake, long list of redacted text. Them. She had to. It's the only thing that makes sense. Substitution subverts the vector. Stalled out. Feeding lessens impact. Recommend against experimental reproduction. Sanders verified dentals. No trace of Savannah. Complete digestion unlikely, but possible. Redesignate asset Snake as asset JöRMUNGANDR. Would you like to roll sanity versus helplessness?
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't like to, but I will. 48 under 70.
All right. So you don't lose any sanity, but you've realized that J-Cell is fucked. You have 2 damaged assets, an agent who it's her first rodeo, and a handler that does not care enough to properly follow OPSEC. They are probably not expecting you to return unharmed, if they expect you to return at all.
And then that sticky note was what, God help you, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm not in love with this.
JöRMUNGANDR and Julian, you can make some more rolls, get through some information in these documents.
Occult? Is there more occult information too?
There's more occult information.
Oh yeah, I love the occult. I love it. 65 out of 70.
Okay, can I have you roll occult again?
Okay. Yeah, 34.
Hilariously, Titus runs a podcast. It updates sporadically and irregularly, containing Titus's distracted ramblings on whatever esoteric ritual he believes he has concocted using, quote, forbidden texts from his personal library. Some of the printouts have machine transcription of various episodes, one of which details a ritual surprisingly close to a genuine article you've encountered before. Could you please roll sanity?
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I fail that. So
At least one.
yeah. All right. Cool. Cool.
He's still probably a bumbling rich guy idiot, but he is a bumbling rich guy idiot very close to things that he should not be close to.
So is this like, oh, he knows like not just occult shit, but like unnatural shit. Like
He might actually have items that are genuinely unnatural, and he might be using them.
don't like that.
JöRMUNGANDR, what do you want to look through?
I don't know if it's possible, but could I use unnatural? I don't know if that's specifically for interfacing with unnatural things, or if I can use it to search for unnatural thing. It's lower than my.
No, I'm going to say it doesn't really work here. It would be occult. When you get to there, it can see the stuff. Unnatural be more helpful.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, yeah, I'll roll occult again.
Okay.
Ooh, 11 under 30.
Okay, you get 2 facts.
Oh.
Titus is absolutely fascinated by the occult, and he throws a massive pile of his personal cash at anything with even a hint of mysterious origin. It's likely that his various bric-a-brac is all superstitious garbage, but we should expect our search to extend well beyond written text and into physical items. And do you want a fact from accounting, history, or law?
Oh, I get to pick? Law.
Okay. Amnesty International called for a human rights investigation into Galleria Manor in 2015 after an anonymous whistleblower made claims about inhumane working conditions. The investigation turned up nothing and was dismissed.
Of course.
What happened to the whistleblower?
No idea.
Presumably he left the island.
You've got one more law fact, some accounting, and some history. If you just want to roll in ×5, you can get general knowledge questions. Everybody gets to make one more roll.
Let's see if we've kind of... So, is there more information through history?
Yep, there's more. Right. There's a lot more through history.
All right, I am a historian. So, yeah. 52 under 70.
Titus pivoted to munition sales just ahead of World War II, which skyrocketed his profits enough to make him and his companies a global player. Military R&D developed shortly afterwards in the 1950s, with Titus founding Hachiman, the predecessor sister company to Ogre. Ogre itself wasn't founded until the mid-1980s, but is fairly successful as far as PMCs go.
Okay.
So this dude's been obsessed with Japan for a while.
This dude has been obsessed with weapons for a while as well. But yeah, his first company, Hachiman. So,
what kind of weapons?
You're going to have to dig through more of the...
Okay. Don't have time for that yet. Okay.
No, you're just seeing like that he moved to arms sales. So
okay.
And then he's doing weapons or other kind of defense development, but that can be anything. That doesn't have to be guns. Like it can be like tear gas or vehicles or parachutes. Like it could be anything.
Mm-hmm. All right, just a charming human being all around.
Mm-hmm. So I believe JöRMUNGANDR and Jennifer, you still have roles?
Yeah.
Is there occult stuff left?
There is no occult stuff left.
I'd have to do in ×5 then. I'll let Jennifer go first.
I'm going to try another law roll and see what we end up with. That's a fail. 54.
All right. In ×5.
So Hachiman, the defense R&D company Titus started in the 50s, has pivoted from small arms manufacturing to security and policing equipment in the 90s. Operation Eagle Claw in the 80s caught Titus's attention as a market waiting to be exploited, and the shift to security tools was completed just ahead of the War on Terror. Titus has made a killing selling anti-terrorism equipment and training to various government agencies and police forces worldwide. You always get something. You just don't get your category fact if you fail.
Sounds like a real nice guy.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
All right, in ×5. That is a 71. I do not make that.
Okay. The major philanthropic interest for Titus is a collection of a dozen or more orphanages owned by an international trust managed by Titus's legal group. Locations include South Korea, Taiwan, the Philippines, and both North and South America.
Yep.
It doesn't look like it's suitable for a tax shelter, so maybe he funds it out of a sense of genuine concern?
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, definitely.
Alrighty. Once again, the crew gets very active. They tell you to hold on to something because they are making procedures for landing. That's pretty smooth. Futenma has a stupidly long airstrip that you could land literally anything on. There's about 10 minutes of post-landing procedures, and then they pop the ramp down, and you can head wherever you like. You've been told to stay on Futenma, but it is 6 p.m. at this point. You have traveled 31 hours in the span of 18. You are several days away from where you started. You are all jet lagged as fuck. Can you roll some POW tests?
Yeah, I love to cross the date line.
I make that actually, but I'm still going to go to sleep because fuck, yeah.
I also make that. That's a 19.
Made mine 59 under 7.
Okay, you've been up for a long time, so everybody loses 1 willpower.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 6 p.m., so like if you didn't eat burgers on the plane, you're super starving. And Colonel Wesley tells you his plans. He's going to go down into town and he's going to look for some sushi, and then he's probably going to find somewhere to sleep. You're welcome to come with him. Otherwise, you can stay on the airfield and see if somebody will find you a cot somewhere.
With the Colonel, if he's going to find us an actual place to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colonel.
I guess I'll tag along too, yeah.
You don't want to be a good girl and you were told?
I mean, sushi sounds really good, though. It has been, we've been in a plane for 16 hours.
Okay.
Can I leave my bag here? We're coming back, right?
Yeah, you're coming back in the morning too. There's going to be a car that picks you up from the Federal Credit Union that is just a little bit down the road.
Okay.
You can hold on to your stuff there.
All right. Yeah. Because I have knives, a gun, and some Coke in my bag. I'm not taking it into town. So, yeah.
I will also leave my bag.
Sorry, no, hold on. The drink or the substance?
The substance.
You brought cocaine into Japan.
Yeah.
I thought you were straight and narrow for a minute there.
No.
Silly me.
Julian has a Coke addiction. Never leave home without it.
Oh my God.
Absolutely incredible.
Is it too early to get away from these crazy people to my motivations, or?
No, that's perfect, actually.
Also, the documents. I don't want to leave take the documents into a fucking restaurant or a hotel or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so the documents will be unavailable for research, but that's fine. So you all decide to head down with Colonel Wesley into the town of the city of Ginowan. It is 96,000 people, so it is quite well populated. It has sort of rubbed up against the airfield on all sides, which is a very important political problem. But yeah, it seems like he's been here before. He knows more or less where to go. So the first place he stops is a pretty nice little sushi place. Not very many tables. He just goes and sits at the bar and invites you to join him.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentions that he's fine with paying for you. You just have to keep up with him in drinks.
That won't be an issue.
Oh, no.
Sure. Not the first time.
Starts pretty easy. It's just local sake. It is 12% ABV, so it's like drinking a wine. But hey, there's food. There's free food, and it's really good. It's fresh caught fish prepared at the restaurant. It goes down great. Once we've do whatever you like.
Once we've had like a couple, bites, Estelle will turn to the Colonel and say, instantly ruining the mood, I'm sure. Tell me about the ghost of Futenma.
Kind of freeze with my fish in my chopsticks hovering in front of my face. I kind of look over worried.
Roll human. Anybody can do this.
I have it at base.
I also have it at base.
Finally, my portfolio is paid off. I have it 70. So I make it 52.
I crit fail?
So yeah, it looks like he has some kind of hesitation about it. possibly a personal connection to the story, JöRMUNGANDR. He looks like he is so excited to tell you about the ghost of Futenma. Can't wait to spill the information. He goes, well, I mean, you know what the boys are like. Live for ghost stories. Something happens. Some facts get exaggerated. And you run wild with speculation and embellishment till 13 years later, you end up with a story about a haunted airfield. It's a crock of shit, obviously, but it does have a little grounding in history. Are you sure you want to hear this story?
Yes.
It's less like he's asking you if you want to do it, and more that like he's trying to tactfully give himself an out to the conversation.
He's asking for an out. Estelle says she wants to hear it without, she's still eating. She says it with her mouth full.
Well, all right. I used to be friends with a kind of a curious guy, Chief Warrant Officer Carter Renault. And I never knew what his area of expertise was per se. But when any kind of weird or unexplainable shit went down, Carter would pop up out of the shadows to deal with it. You know, the kind of thing, locals scrawling weird shit on the walls in their own blood, sightings of monsters crawling around in foggy swamps, whatever kind of X-Files bullshit that the grunts thought they'd seen. And most of the time it was nothing, but every once in a while, you know, that was Carter's thing. I knew better than to get involved. I think we're about done here, he says, and he stands up and puts some money on the counter and heads out.
All right.
I dutifully follow him. Continue.
Let's wait until I have a chance to sit down, all right? So he leads you along the road that you're on, and it's not very long before you hit an izakaya. And they're just everywhere. So all of you pile into it. It's only seating's enough for a small group. It's right on the edge of the road there. And he orders more alcohol and skewered meats. He has to drink a little bit, but after more prodding, he continues with the story. And he said, well, this is back in 2011 during Tomodachi. I got called out to Sendai, you know, right along the coast there. Anyway, the place is famous for bringing Catholics to Japan, so there's a bunch of churches packed into all the wards. There was some search and rescue units on the coast in Wakabayashi pulling apart wrecks and whatnot, and they found something really weird in one of the churches. So Carter shows up, and he and I get choppered out to this flooded plain that used to be a town. It's such a horrible thing what happened. Anyway, I was expecting to find the place flattened, and to my surprise, it was completely untouched, dry even. By some miracle, waves more than double the height of the steeple had washed over the place and done abso-fucking-lutely nothing to the structure. There was debris piled up all around it like some kind of incredibly coincidental barrier. And my initial guess was that it just happened to divert the force of the entire goddamn ocean hitting it. It's completely unreal. So Carter and I go inside and find a bunch of kids sitting in the middle of the sanctuary, reading books and singing hymns. The older kids doing their best to keep the younger ones calm. So we talk to them, and they explain that after one of the big foreshocks, the adults went into the basement to pray for some archangel for help. They hadn't come back up, but as far as they knew, it worked. The place was still standing. He interrupts his story to fucking house in Asahi and ask for a second one and house that one.
And what was in the basement?
He puts up a hand and he gets through his third beer. The restaurateur is like, you know, like, it's a lot of alcohol to drink. Are you sure you don't want to maybe stop? So he puts down the bill, leaves some money, and starts walking off down the road again, a little bit more unsteady than the last time.
I dutifully follow.
Yeah.
So he finds another izakaya, and he orders more alcohol and more grilled meat. He's like a guy who's used to drinking a lot, but also doesn't want to have a hangover the next day. So he's sort of pacing himself. It's this weird alchemy where he is attempting to get blackout drunk, but still be functional. So he has to get pretty far into some soju before he says. So I followed Carter into the basement, and we found that water had managed to get in after all. It was about chest high. The impromptu sandbags outside failing to keep it from flooding. And we found the bodies of the adults just bobbing around down there. But that wasn't the worst part of it. For some reason, it looked like they'd gouged their own damn eyes out. Carter took it all in, said he'd take care of it, and told me to take the boys and leave. Of course, I did what he said, because you don't say no to the chief. I never saw Carter again after that. There was a minor scandal a few hours later when an explosion reduced the whole place to rubble. Apparently, there was some shady shit in the basement, some kind of IED the adults had rigged up to protect sensitive information or something. I mean, there's all kinds of culty looking shit down there, so it didn't strike me as the weirdest thing. The kids, the orphans, I guess, were evacuated out by one of the civilian contractors, and I don't know what happened to them after that. I don't really like to think about it. Carter was missing after that. Him going AWOL spooked the entire island. We had search teams out for him. We set up task forces with the local government. We got so many shouting matches with Japanese officials and scared citizens. It was a fucking nightmare. As prime fodder for ghost stories, so of course the base ran with it. I don't know who started it, but the CEO was trying to tamp down on it, just fanned the flames and made it worse. So the ghost of Futenma is a pretty hard rumor to kill. Now it's just part of the landscape. My guess is Carter got caught up in the IAD, and the place was so thoroughly leveled that it was just impossible to retrieve his body out from the rest of those poor people. Anyway, that's the ghost of Futenma. I hope you've assuaged your curiosity.
Estelle seems to be chewing on what she's been told.
A toast to the chief. I just raised my glass and... Yeah.
Chief Carter.
Chief Carter.
You weird son of a bitch.
I will also participate.
I will not.
He drains the drink and gets another one.
I don't suppose Carter recruited you into our association of mutual friends.
Carter asked me for some favors when he was serving. And after he'd gone missing, right around when I wanted to retire, this would be 2017, 2018, a bunch of suits show up with photos of me and Carter together. They asked a bunch of questions, and they knew things. They knew things about me that I didn't want anybody to know, things I wasn't proud of, things that could get me in a lot of trouble. So after I couldn't tell them where Carter had gone, they believed me, but they leaned on me for some favors. Things like forging deployment orders, pressuring my son's legal outfit to provide criminal defense for somebody I've never met, or getting the boys to make 2 tons of EDAs disappear. And then 2 weeks ago, like after I got that letter from Johnny, that firecracker in the pencil skirt shows up at my door and tells me that I'm going to dinner and taking a bunch of her flunkies with me. And now here I sit, drinking with those flunkies. That's the long and short of it.
I assume the firecracker in the pencil skirt is Jobez.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's how it works.
Finishes off the soju. He finishes off another beer, and then he again pays and wanders off.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty tipsy.
I suggest, hey, why don't we find an inn before it gets too much later?
Somebody call odds or evens. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Turns out the amount of money that Carter left was not enough. So one of the staff members goes chasing after him, and he assumed very politely asks for him to finish the bill. Those of you who can speak Japanese can understand this conversation. Those of you who can't, kind of putting it together through, like body language and animation. Colonel Wesley seems convinced that he did, in fact, pay the bill, and is incensed that someone would call him on it because he's a man who always
Is there an ATM nearby?
Probably. He begins shouting, though.
I tell him, look, I got this. I look like I say the words in English first. So ATM, and I hold out. I have a card out, and I go to get some, cash out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try and smooth things over with the staff because I do speak Japanese.
Okay. Yeah. So roll your Japanese to see how convincing you are to the staff. And Ross, you want to roll persuade to calm down the colonel?
Yeah. Yeah, I make that.
I got a 33 under 40.
Got 53 under 7.
Yeah. So you're super convincing. You're like, look, he's just one of the guys from the base. You know what it's like when they drink. So sorry for bringing him down here. My friend here is going to pay the rest of the bill. We'll get him somewhere that he won't be a nuisance. So you get that sorted out. You have to help Ross navigate the ATM. But yeah, he again, it's like he knows where he's going. He ends up at one of the capsule hotels, and he purchases some beds, crawls into one of them, and goes right to sleep.
All right, I will also, if I can get to sleep, we're gonna need it.
Wait, is everybody sleeping?
Yeah, now that I've eaten my body weight and
grilled meat and alcohol,
and grilled meat and fish and alcohol, yeah. It didn't sleep when I got off the plane, so.
How far was the orphanage place from where we are now? Just out of curiosity.
It's in Sendai, which is like in Japan proper.
Okay, so quite far. All right, yeah. Then in that case, I think I will also retire.
Oh, you mean sorry, you meant the orphanage that
it was leveled.
Oh, the one that was leveled. Okay, the one that was leveled is in Sendai.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Okay, you sleep well enough. It's kind of hard to get to sleep, and the beds are kind of small, and you're like really kind of jammed in there. There's not a lot of space.
We're Americans using capsule beds,
and you're jet lagged as fuck. So, not the best sleep you've had in your life. But yeah, the next morning, in fact, if you're not the kind of person that rises early, the colonel is up before you and actually wakes you up. He seems no worse for wear. Like he has just forgotten about everything last night. And it's probably not good to bring it up with him. So he takes you back up to the airport, or to the airfield rather. I assume you retrieve all of your things.
Yeah. I check it over.
Particularly go for any of the fucking bags.
Yeah, we're going to the island next, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to leave the briefing documents in the safe deposit box.
Are you bringing the bags?
Yeah.
I'll bring the bag, yeah.
All right, so we're leaving the papers, bringing the bags.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. We'd probably, if they search our shit.
So, you get a little coin locker. They give you a little certificate and a key. So a car shows up. It takes you down to a dock. There's a ferry waiting for it. It's kind of a smaller ferry. You get on it, and there's some other passengers boarding. Most notably, the couple of guys from the plane ride are there. Not the crew, but the guys in suits that were standing around.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of other guys that look very similar in mannerisms and behavior, also wearing like nice generic clothing. They seem to be from a variety of ethnic groups, and they're all kind of standing away from each other, just sort of watching each other. And the last group of people, other than the actual ferry staff, is a group of about 20, maybe 30 schoolgirls, somewhere around middle school, maybe a couple high schoolers. And they are all wearing the same uniform. They're wearing a British style maid outfit. It's the one that goes all the way down to the heels. And the apron is, much less decorative, but they do still have the little maid headband on. The older girls seem to be corralling and looking after the younger ones. But yeah,
they're not here on a field trip.
They pull the aprons up. The ferry takes off. All it's right. A little bit of a ride till you get to Inukaijuno. So whatever you want to do on the boat, let me know.
Well, now I wish I'd gone into human, because then I could see if I could pump the civilians for information, but
Yeah, I can't talk to them. You talk to them and I'll study them.
You want to roll alertness?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, sure.
53.
Oh no, I crit failed that.
I
40.
I make it. I am alert.
So the kids are all really talkative, and they mostly talk about completely inconsequential things. Dramas they saw last night, manga they're reading, what they're going to do later that night, whether or not you remember to say your prayers and brush your teeth. But they're speaking a mix of English and Japanese. They're like code switching between the two for whatever is easiest and fastest to convey the idea that they're trying to give you. The strange thing is, it's not like it's a bunch of English kids or a bunch of Japanese kids. Like, this seems to be a very polyglot group ethnically. So you can presume that wherever they're working or going to school, one of them requires English and the other one requires Japanese.
Interesting.
I'll approach the group.
Does this ferry only have one destination, or does it have multiple stops?
You could go ask the pilot.
I will ask, let's see here, Agent Jennifer, to ask them if this only has one stop or if it has multiple.
Agent Jennifer, you don't even need to roll to go ask. You can tell from the aprons on the front and back of the ship that it is the kind that only goes to one location. It has aprons on both ends so that it doesn't have to turn around.
Aprons or...
Aprons, they're the little ramps that like fold down, but also when they're up, they shield.
Oh, right.
Interesting. Okay. So they're going. So those kids are going to the same place we're going.
Yep. The kids and the guys in seats are all going to the same place.
Yeah, I'll approach the kids. Not intimidating at all, I'm sure. Whichever one just seems to be the head of the pack.
So there's two girls that are taller and seem older than the rest of the girls. One is taller than the other one. Which of the two would you like to speak to?
Did I notice either of those two speaking? Whichever one spoke more English.
Okay, that would be the tallest one.
Okay.
She looks like pretty, like, not reserved, but just sort of like calm. She exudes this sort of capybara-like aura. And when you approach, she's like, hello? In English?
Your Titus staff? I guess your Galeria staff?
Yeah, we work at the Manor.
Do you enjoy working there?
You got human?
Base!
All right. Anybody part of this conversation, roll.
I will be lingering nearby enough that not once I realize I can speak English, I will be listening.
I fail that.
I make my human. Yeah, 34.
She's very clearly concealing some kind of emotion, but it's hard to tell what it is. She looks practiced in controlling her expressions. And she says very cheerfully, yes, of course. It's a great work opportunity. Yeah, it's done a lot for us as orphans. And
you are from one of the orphanages that Titus sponsors.
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, everyone around here knows that we live at the orphanages and we work at Galeria.
How old does she look?
17, maybe 18.
And then the rest, there's like one other 17 or 18.
There's one other 17 or 18-year-old, and the rest seem to be like 13, maybe 14.
I'm just going to ask, because like, are all of you old enough to even be working full time?
Well, it's a part education, part work study program that teaches us life skills that we'll need to in order to compete in the global workforce. You see, Titus believes in thorough education, which is why we've received a bilingual education. So it's completely above board. Everything's fine. You know, us older girls look after the younger ones, and it's a very efficient system.
I couldn't even tell she was reading from a script. How many, or no, what's the age range of everyone employed?
Oh, I take out a cigarette and start smoking to see if any of the girls look like they want a cigarette.
The one you're talking to kind of eyes your cigarette and then goes back to she says, well...
Oh, here, I'm so rude. Here, do you want one?
Yes, if you don't mind, but I shouldn't be telling you this, but when you get to the manor, I wouldn't show anyone your lighter.
Oh, is there a prohibition against lighters?
Yes, lighters are not allowed on the island.
Oh, okay. Any other rules we should be aware of?
Oh, no, not for guests.
Okay. Yeah, here you go.
Not for
So
guests.
she
What
takes one big drag of it
Yeah.
and has this euphoric feeling in her face. Like she's been waiting this forever. And then she ashes it, rubs the end of it on the railing to put it out and hands it back to you. And she's like, I really shouldn't indulge.
Everyone else seems to be into vaping, but I just can't shake the feeling. It looks ridiculous.
Well, and it's so expensive. All the cartridges and things.
Yeah, I don't want to bother with another gadget anyway. Well, I hope we're good guests for you all. I suppose
I'm sure it'll be fine. You're here for the dinner?
Yes.
As soon as we disembark, there'll be a tour. I can show you the manor and the guest houses and the rose gardens. And then after that, there'll be time for recreation if you want to see the beach. We, of course, have a firing range. I'm well aware of the kind of guests that Mr. Titus has. And she's just rambling on like she's like the fucking pamphlet for the...
What do you recommend for recreation?
She gets kind of a sad look. That's just like barely perceptible. And she's like, well, I enjoy singing, but I don't have occasion to very often.
Oh, they have karaoke? Of course they have karaoke.
No, not at all.
Oh. Oh, so you actually perform?
It's more of a hobby. It's something I do when I'm by myself.
I'll keep that in mind. I don't suppose there's any a library or anything in the...
There is. It's a very wonderful library. It's 2 stories. There's an entrance on the first floor and the second floor. We have all manner of texts from all around the world. I myself has perused some of the volumes. All very interesting things.
Oh, excellent. I am a bit of a bibliophile myself.
There's a pretty small girl, maybe about 11, who is tugging on the girl's skirt. And she says, Claire. And the girl looks down at her and says, it's perseverance when I'm at work. Perseverance? Yes, sweetheart. I have to go to the bathroom. And she looks at the two of you, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I have to see to this.
Of course.
If you have questions, just ask for perseverance on the island.
Okay. All right.
You can still grill the maids for information if you want. There's the other older girl here. You can try and eavesdrop on the conversations for all of the dudes in suits, or we can fast forward to when you land at the island.
I will eavesdrop on the dudes in suits. I will go, take up a position and smoke and drink if they have coffee or whatever on the ferry. Do they have any snacks or anything like that?
Yeah, they've got coffee.
Yeah.
It's like cheap coffee in styrofoam cups.
That's totally fine. So I'll be drinking coffee and eavesdropping.
What's your alertness?
60.
Okay. So it's pretty easy to stand someplace where you can overhear the conversations. You just have to stand like more or less downwind of them, and the sound travels back to you. It's a lot of idle conversation. You can't understand some of the groups. You know that one of them is probably Japanese based on what you've been hearing, and you think the other one is maybe Korean, but you don't know the phonemes, so you can't be sure. But the other groups, like lots of them are speaking English and in various accents. Looks like there's a group like probably British guys, maybe Londoners. There's a group of Australians. And then the group that, of course, followed you here is speaking like normal American English. Mostly, they're just talking about what they think the dinner plans will be, what, quote, the alchemist is going to serve, which, gets chuckles from people. And the other thing they're talking about is they are trying to guess at what he's going to be selling them.
Interesting.
Seems like they believe the dinner is going to be some kind of business pitch.
Okay. And somebody like my character is really involved in the antiquities trade. Have I heard of John Crichton, this Titus guy, involved as being a player in antiquities or old books or anything like that?
Oh yeah. If
Okay.
it could even be considered like anything even remotely related to magic, he throws money at it, attempting to purchase it. So like, you're sure that he has like just like a bunch of just like garbage in his house, just like minutia that's related to anything associated with like alchemy or magic.
Okay. If there's anybody who seems particularly knowledgeable about like might have some insight into what Titus would be selling or has sold in the past, I will, and seems to have some sort of knowledge of the occult or antiquities. I'll try and strike up a conversation with them. Otherwise, I'll just keep eavesdropping.
So the Australians look pretty friendly. They try and strike up conversations with the other groups and who are like more or less into it. But when you go talk to them, they're just like, "Hey, mate, how's it going? Lovely weather we're having. Bit damp."
Mm-hmm.
And when you engage them in conversation with Titus, they're happy to talk about it. They're bored standing around.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I'll drop some tidbits about, just antiquities and, give some sort of anecdote about Titus, having a bidding war at an auction for, some book or something like that.
They're like, "Oh, yeah, the guy's crazy. It's going to be a roulette on what he ends up selling us. It could be something really useful. It could be some new piece of cutting edge, defense technology, or it could be that time that he tried to sell us magic bananas."
Did they turn out to be magic?
No, they were terrible, and they grew very poorly in any kind of soil.
All right. Well, I guess it'll be entertaining regardless.
Did you eat before you come?
Last night, not really this morning.
I got a cow made on me. You want one?
Sure.
They hand you some like protein calorie bars,
mm-hmm.
and they're like, they taste like dirt, but it might be preferable to whatever it is that gets served at dinner.
I will trade them one of my Cliff Bars in my go bag.
Cliff Bar. Oh, this one's got cashews. I love cashews.
Mm-hmm. Never leave home without it. All right. Yeah, so I'll just keep talking to them and just try and win over, learn their names and make small talk and all that. And yeah.
The only group you haven't really talked to is maybe the ferry staff. And you could also probably ask the maids about schedules. That would be the other good information to know.
Okay. Well, the others, I'll do my part so the others can do theirs.
Well, the ferry staff's all Japanese, so I guess I'll go talk to them. Is it JöRMUNGANDR already is familiar with the maids, so.
Yeah, I'll wait for the other one to return before grilling her.
Okay. Yeah, so the ferry staff is pretty affable. They'll tell you basically anything you want to know about ferrying to and from the island. Because, they're helpful. They don't mind being tour guides.
So let's start off with the basics. Like how often does Mr. Titus have guests and like big groups like this come out to the island?
The ferry runs twice a day. The dock only works at high tide, so whenever it's high tide, we head out. We run whether or not there are guests, just in case. The girls are here pretty much all the time. We ferry them out there for work. I know that they go to a school somewhere, but I'm not in charge of that boat, so I don't know. There's another one of the islands that has one of them, a fancy girls' academy on it that they attend. You can see their little uniforms sometimes. It's very cute, and they're very nice purple color.
I'm sorry, you said the girls' academy is on the island?
No, there's a different island that they get ferried out to. So when you're at the docks, you can see them in their uniforms, or sometimes they'll wear them to the Manor if they go there after school. But yeah, it runs every day at high tide, so 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Head out and get stuff. Sometimes the girls have foodstuffs. They'll have little hand carts with little ice boxes packed with stuff, presumably to fill the Manor's larder. He says he knows that there's also some other outfit that takes like heavy machinery and materials and things out there, but he's never seen the vessel himself.
It's like I already know that the girls are here on some kind of work study arrangement. Is this like a thing they do as like a class? Is it like a semester trimester thing, or is it usually the
Well, you
same
do.
group of girls for long periods?
Titus is a man with a lot of money, so he knows a lot of other people with a lot of money. So it's like a work study program where they gain skills and knowledge and manners and that kind of thing. So a lot of the girls, when they would graduate the program, they find jobs at like the houses of politicians and stuff. So it's just a way to give orphanages like a career path.
And it's the orphanage that he's sponsoring that these girls are from. I assume it's a girls' home. It's not a co-ed orphanage.
Well, there was the one boy that used to work here, but I don't know if there's more.
And that boy's name was Chief Carter.
This big burly Navy chief in the maid dress.
Stranger things have happened.
No, that's true.
So we'll cut back. Severance comes back, and of course, she's just getting the ferry ride is coming to an end. Like it's going to be there soon, so she's getting all the girls ready and making sure they have all their stuff and whatnot.
I think without an ounce of social etiquette, JöRMUNGANDR will just say, "What's the schedule?" Like in the middle of her doing things.
Right. When we land, there'll be a tour. We'll show you to the guest houses. You can spend some time freshening up if you'd like. Take a walk on the beach. Then it will be dinner. After dinner, you're welcome to enjoy the facilities on the manor. Mr. Titus enjoys spending time in the lounge. We have a full bar. There's music, very comfortable couches. And after that will be lights out. We'll be closing down the manor for the day. So if you want something, you'll have to arrange it ahead of time. And then tomorrow, I believe Mr. Titus is presenting something.
Okay.
Once she's done speaking, I walk away.
Nice.
I guess I'll excuse myself and go meet back up with everybody else.
And just to recap, our mission is to just steal anything not bolted down. Like, there's no particular. Well, no, there's flag text, right? Specific ones. We're
we're looking.
You have a list of things for sure.
Okay.
I think the goal is to get anything weird out of his hands, basically. Whether we take it or explode it or whatever.
Right.
Anything you can like get and extract, you should. Everything else, you should find a way to make sure nobody else has it. Whatever that looks like.
Yeah. The main thing is, I'm going to go to the colonel and talk to him and be like, it occurs to me, we're taking a ferry to this island, right?
Yes, sir.
And the only way we're getting off this island is the ferry.
That's true.
There's not like even if there was a helicopter on the island, you're not exactly a pilot. I'm not a pilot and they're not pilots. So
some of these other fellows might be, but yeah, I don't think there's a helicopter.
Okay.
I've never seen one.
Okay. All right. Good to know. There's not have you been to this island before?
Oh yeah, I've been here a couple of times. Titus has some very interesting ways of throwing parties. We used to come down as representatives for the Marines, and he's a character.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, does he have any boats on the island? Does he have that are on the docks aside?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm pretty sure that it's just the ferry.
Great. Okay. So all right. Yeah.
So you get there. The dock is a embattled wooden affair. It's a fixed pier. It's not a floating dock. And it looks like that in recent years, someone has fitted I don't remember what it's called, but it's the thing that a ferry can interface with so that the apron lands very cleanly on it. And you all are disembarking. And while you're disembarking, it occurs to you, Agent Jennifer, that he mentioned like heavy material, like, maybe iron or steel or like heavy equipment is being moved to the island. It would never fit on this ferry. It would never fit on this dock. It is not strong enough to support heavy weight. It creaks a little bit when like you and these 13-year-old children are walking across it.
Yeah, when they mentioned that, there was another crew completely separate from them that delivers, like you said, heavy machinery material.
But
so there's got to be
question
another
is,
dock
like,
somewhere.
yeah, there would have to be another dock somewhere.
Okay. So we could, if we can find that other dock, we could, well, hopefully get a boat to get us to the mainland. If necessary. Because, depending on how
And the ferry comes at high tide no matter what. So.
Yeah. It could get real dynamic real fucking quick.
Yeah, dynamic. That's a good word for it. I also feel like fleeing using basically a water Uber, not the best idea whenever we might have just done something quite bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hard to say.
Can any of us drive a boat?
No, I can't. I mean, Colonel, do you know how to pilot a boat if it comes to it?
Oh, I've never. I mean, a small craft, sure. I like to go out on the water with my grandkids sometimes, but
Okay.
Well, hold on. Are we supposed to let him know that there is if it comes to it?
No, you're not supposed to tell him anything. He does not want to be involved with. If you find something spooky, don't tell him.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's if shit hits the fan, we need to take him with us. It's going to be real bad if we leave him behind.
Yeah, it would be bad if you.
How the fuck are we? Yeah, because he's the one who's going to organize our plane flight home. Like that doesn't, go through customs or anything.
Yeah, it would be really bad to show back up without Colonel Wesley.
Yeah. So he undoubtedly has realized that we're up to no good, and so. These questions probably aren't entirely surprising. Probably disappointing to him, but not surprising.
At the very least, he knows that we're a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Is Jennifer? This is Jennifer's first rodeo, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. So I think, as everybody's kind of shuffling off of the ferry and following the now everybody, if you'd come this way, yada yada, blah blah blah. Jennifer, you get grabbed at the shoulder.
Okay. I turn to see who's grabbing me.
It is, of course, Agent JöRMUNGANDR staring you in the face, a little too close for comfort. She looks through you. She blinks a little slowly and says, "Have you ever killed anyone?
Like, personally?
Have you ever seen anyone die?"
No. Back in college, we'd get drunk and we'd see random videos. Live Leak was still around, but that's about the extent of it.
You're
never
not
really
familiar with the order of operations for something like this.
Look, this isn't really inside of my doing. Actual being on the ground is not exactly inside of my wheelhouse, but like she said, first available.
I'll probably see this at this point, like this conversation going on, and be, if we have some time to talk, and if we're not disembarking immediately, be like, the real question, Jennifer, is why our organization would go to such great lengths for us to steal old books. So think about that and what that means, and like
kind
think
of
about
kind of in a hushed tone. It's like, look, I don't know why you guys are here specifically, in what the deal is with the materials, but like on the surface, we have someone that's very rich, very connected, very powerful, that is being chased around by authorities in a legally muddy backyard that also is probably power brokering behind closed doors. So that's enough of an explanation for getting thrown in the deep end as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, just know that if something goes wrong, there's not going to be any arrests. There's not going to be any trial. The offending parties are going to be thrown in the ocean, and they're going to be disappeared. So you need to be ready to do what it takes to keep yourself and us alive.
Did you bring a gun?
I mean, I nod.
Yeah, I'll open my jacket a little bit, and there's like the kind of knife you'd use to take apart an animal you just hunted.
Well, that's gauche.
It's effective.
It's hard to conceal is what it is.
I got here just
putting
fine.
on her
It's because
putting on her best brave face. And Jennifer kind of like squeaks out like, "Yeah, well, now I feel slightly underprepared."
I will palm you like like one of those folding knives.
Oh, wonderful!
At least that's something.
In case I'm attacked by a pear.
No, it's like something that can hurt somebody. But
Oh, okay, like
like a K-bar.
Yeah. Well, no, like a concealable knife.
Yeah, little spring knives.
Yeah. Well, let's see here.
Pocket knife, decent size.
Oh no, one of those Spyderco ones.
Fucking Spyderco.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'll put a link in the something like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
That's cute.
I mean,
sure
it'll
be useful later.
Yeah, it'll definitely stick it in the right part of somebody, and they'll stop moving.
I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to scale the 13-year-old maids with it, but I don't know about anybody else on this island. All right, so it's the tour. Are we going on the tour?
Oh sure, yeah, I'm playing my part as good
lay of the land.
Good guest, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I follow behind Jennifer, keeping an eye on her.
So the tour is a very nice tour. It talks about the history of the island. It talks about like when Galeria Manor was built and how it's a fusion of Eastern and Western styles. And none of that is things that you care about. You're looking for entrances, exits, number of windows, what building connects to where, how far is it between things. So you ascertain that most of the facilities necessary for the maintenance of the manor are on the first floor or a basement. The first floor includes a dining hall, a smoking lounge, the maid's dormitory for whenever they need to stay the night on the island, which you gather they will be doing tonight because there's going to be a bunch of guests. A sitting room, a ballroom, and of course the library that also extends upward to the second floor. The second floor houses the library, Titus's study, Titus's bedroom, and something called the solarium. They show you it in passing. It is a large set of double doors opening in the French door style. It has emblazoned on the like a brass symbol on the front of the doors is a picture of a full moon moving in front of a stylized sun. They do not take you into it. And the basement of the manor has like things like the kitchen and the food room and the boiler room and the wine cellar. It's things that they don't go show you. They just mention are down there.
Really quick, as we're passing the thing and I see the emblem, can I roll occult to see if I recognize any significance?
Sure.
Yeah, I might as well too.
15 under 30.
So the moon in like Japanese aesthetics is supposed to represent the soul. It's like your internal monologue. It's like what makes you you. In certain contexts, especially when next to water, it can imply a journey into the afterlife or the realm of the dead. The fact that it is eclipsing the sun suggests shadow is an important motif in this. But as far as like just like general, like, is this a cult I recognize? There's nothing like that.
Is the solarium, I don't know, do the doors have a locking mechanism on them?
They do.
Okay, interesting.
When you see odds or evens?
Odds.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It was evens.
Sad.
But yeah, they look locked. Everything on them, like all the doors in the manor, is like can be locked, but most of them have been opened because they've been accepting guests. So the fact that something called a solarium is locked must mean that it's very personal to Titus.
Sorry, just one more quick question. As we're being led along, do I notice any of the maids like palming or pocketing and using keys or anything? Is there like a ring or something that they have?
You notice that the two older girls have large key rings.
Okay.
You want to roll alertness?
Sure.
I crit make that with
I failed.
33.
So Perseverance's Ring of Keys is really interesting. You're the kind of person that hyper focuses on something. So I will tell you what keys she has. You're able to notice some of them. They have like little markers on them that like, so you know how like a bedroom key in like an old timey movie, it's like the stick and then like 2 teeth. She has 7 keys with extremely specific shapes that you recognize as the alchemical symbols for each of the planets. She has 7 of them, and they all appear to be made of different materials.
Oh my god. Hell yeah, we're in the Resident Evil mansion.
I will be focused on the keyring and thus Severance very intently. That like languorous blinking is gone. I don't even think that JöRMUNGANDR blinks once she realizes this. She just stares.
I elbow JöRMUNGANDR if I notice this.
After the manor, they take you out to visit the rest of the facilities. They show you the guest house. It's a 2-story affair that's mostly just guest rooms. There's a sitting room and there's an attached servants room. Like if you want a sandwich in the middle of the night, you'd go down there and ask. They also show you a rose garden. It is in the front of the manor. It is quite large. It's very well taken care of. There are a lot of exotic varieties of roses, lots of different colors, and there is a gazebo. On the tour, they mentioned that Titus enjoys taking tea there, so that if you want to have, like an afternoon relax and snack, the gazebo is a great place for it. And the last place they show you is the firing range. They mentioned that, of course, like Titus has a huge collection of antique guns. If you ever want to play around with them, there's ammunition available. You just have to go ask one of the staff and they'll go get Titus because he loves to go shooting.
Do they have any firearms on display?
Out here at the firing range? No.
Okay. It's an outdoor range though, right?
It's an outdoor range.
Okay. All right. Are there spent shell casings on the ground?
No, they clean up quite well.
Okay. What kind of berm is it? Is it like a big dirt pile, or is it like one of those high-end ones with custom-made materials?
It is very fancy. It was built to impress.
Okay. Concrete backstop and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yep.
It's got little runners so you can have your targets brought back to you. All kinds
Ooh, fancy. Yeah. All right.
It is expensive as hell and requires a ton of maintenance.
Yeah, I can see. All right.
That's kind of the point of it.
I'm going to be scanning like the around the island too to see if I have any idea of where this other dock is, or is it like totally hidden from view from the tour?
So most of the rest of the island appears to be wilderness. There's some game trails that head out into said wilderness, but like the beach doesn't wrap around all the way. As far as you can tell, it's like vaguely mountainous terrain in the back of the island. It's just a bunch of wilderness. If there was a dock, you could have seen it coming in.
Oh, it couldn't be on the other side of the island or anything. It's just the terrain is too.
The terrain doesn't seem to be capable of supporting a dock, and it does not connect like through any sort of pathway to the manor.
Submarine?
And you didn't see a dock, so. Yeah. You don't know where this is, and you don't know like what they're bringing it for because it's not obvious at all.
Okay. So it's a Resident Evil mansion on top of a James Bond villain bunker.
I mean, you're allowed to have whatever theories you want.
Okay. Interesting.
I know you mentioned like game trails and stuff like that. There's no like, is all of this in like all in a connected compound? I guess there's no like roads or other service paths or anything like that staff could use to get around.
So the path up from the dock to the manor is paved. The Rove Garden has paved like very delicate tiling. There's a nice walkway out to both the shooting range and the guest houses, and there's a little bit of a path that goes down to the beach, but like it becomes less like manicured at that point. And that's the only locations that these walkways go to. They're very nice, very broad, very pretty, but this is all the areas they service.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If there's like, basically what I'm looking for is like, you know how the solarium is off limits. If there's some like any other areas that they're guiding us away, if you like, don't look over here, don't pay attention to this part. And that kind of.
Well, Titus's study and bedroom are obviously locked. Those are his personal areas.
Yeah.
But nothing else is like they don't particularly seem to care where you go. They don't even think to tell you that the basement is off limits, because who would want to go down to the kitchen or the boiler room? Maybe the wine cellar, I guess.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing obvious, then yeah, they've hidden it well. Okay.
If there's forbidden texts based on things you've seen, it's either in his study, his bedroom, or the library, perhaps all three. And of course, there was a rumor that he has a secret alchemical laboratory somewhere.
Okay.
He is the alchemist, so...
He is the alchemist. Yeah, we have to respect that. He's got the title. I've heard, many tales of this alchemist. All right, yeah. I guess my next move is going to go to the library and case it. But, yeah, after the tour.
Library is 2 floors, crammed wall to wall with books. There is ladders to go, the fancy ones on the wheels that you can go around and get to the higher stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There is, a balcony on the 2nd floor so that you can look out into the rest of it. It is extremely pretty. Are you looking for things right now, or are you just looking into it?
I am going to sort of this is my field, so I'm just going to assess the quality of this library overall. And if any of the are there any some libraries that have a bunch of books on shelves, but they have some rare books in display cases, environmentally sealed to preserve really delicate books and that kind of thing.
It's kind of confusing because it seems as though it is set up to be a research library, as all of the topics are just random shit. It's some fiction, there's detective fiction, but there's also more or less occult books. There's a bunch of things you see that's esoteric sciences, but then there's books on mathematics, books on physics, but nothing is organized. It just appears to be where Titus thought it would go best.
Okay.
There's also a writing desk, and that is the major piece of furniture that's not just bookshelves just full of random stuff.
Okay. So this is the bookcase or the library of a dilettante who has, and it's a personal library. It's not not like a trophy room, some rich people will have their libraries just to show off these expensive things that they own. And make it look more aesthetic for visitors to impress.
That the things he's trying to show off are more related to firearms.
Okay. So I don't see any of the flag. There's nothing. There's no fucking Necronomicon bound in human skin on the shelf.
There is a bunch of stuff in here. You see some things that there's some cardboard boxes. There's a crate.
Oh, it's that level.
That stuff might be there. But if you want to start opening that now, you should probably have somebody be a lookout.
Okay, I'll wait until the tour and I can get another agent to be lookout. So yeah, there could be stuff here, but I'll have to search through it. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll make a note of that.
And again, the other places that you're going to need keys for would be Titus's study and Titus's bedroom. And then, of course, if you can find this mythical second dock, that might be worthwhile too.
What was on the schedule after the tour?
So after the tour is free time. You have about an hour until dinner.
Okay. What's the maid with the key ring do once the tour is over?
Once the tour is over, she begins attempting to lose you.
Interesting. Can I roll stealth to follow her?
Yeah.
Okay. I make that with a 19 under 40.
So you follow her for a little bit as she goes around giving assignments to the other maids, and she goes around a corner, and you go to follow because you're at a slight distance. You don't see her immediately, and then she steps out from just behind you. Is there something I can help you with?
Interesting. Okay. No. I'm just familiarizing myself with the land.
Right. Well, if you want to head over to the guest houses and freshen yourself up. You look quite tired.
Still will give like the memory of a smile. Like she almost remembers how to smile and then it just goes away instantly. And she will, I'm going to make my way towards, are we at all like, if we're far from the common area, I'm just going to start heading back to the common area.
Okay, yeah, you can head back to the common area. The dining room they're setting up in, but the ballroom currently is not set up to receive like a ball. So there's couches and things in there, and that's where a lot of the other guests are loitering, like they're having tea, there's some biscuits. They're mostly just like shooting the shit. Like they know that Titus is kind of a reclusive sort of guy, so they do not expect to see him at all until dinner.
And that's an hour from now after...
An hour from now.
Okay. I am going to, hey, Jennifer, the library looks interesting. Want to take a look?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. Yeah, I will just whisper. He's like, all right, you be lookout while I go through as much of these boxes and shit as I can. Yeah.
Can I roll like alertness? Did we notice any cameras or anything? Any sort of like CCTV
roll an alertness
sensors, stuff like that?
Cameras.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
While we were going through, like, he is a rich recluse on I failed that hard, 82 over 40.
I make a 7 under 60.
There does not seem to be cameras. You do occasionally notice men dressed as butlers. That sort of based on their behavior seems like they're more here as security guard than like actual like butlers. Like they don't seem to be performing their servant tasks particularly well. Like you don't see CCTVs or anything.
Okay. We don't record anything. Cool.
He is surprisingly analog.
Yeah.
We don't need security cameras where we're going.
Yeah, right.
So the way library searching will work is every time I give you an item, we will assume that 10 minutes has passed as you look into it.
Mm-hmm.
And things will happen when they happen.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Okay.
And I will tell you items. I will start at the top of lists and I'll move down them as you search through them.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me what you do with it.
Okay.
All right.
So is one of you being a lookout?
I will be a lookout.
Okay. You can also assist with, like, you're not going to look for items, but you can assist with, like, deciding what to do with the item. Like, you can assume to be looking at the same things if you want to.
Do we have, and we still have our bags with us. We haven't dropped them off anywhere, right? Okay.
I assume that you're always holding the things you're holding unless you tell me you put them somewhere else.
Yeah.
So do you want to approach the writing desk or are we looking at the shelves?
If there's an opening, I'll look at the writing desk first because I figure that's going to be like the more guarded area. So yeah, just whenever there's an opening. Yeah.
Odds or evens?
If I could third time's a charm, odds.
Okay. So on the writing desk, next to a fountain pen and a loose leaf notebook, is a printed copy labeled Ars Goetia.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's a pretty standard.
Would you like to pursue this further?
Can I just? So it's a written volume of the R's. All right, is it
copy of Ars Goetia?
Do I recognize the printing? Does it look like a standard edition of it?
So it looks like a standard edition, but just like looking around the outside, it's probably been opened a lot. There are some annotative markers.
So there's like little margin.
So someone is using this as a working copy.
Okay, I'll make a note of it, but not like get too focused on any one thing right now. I want an inventory, so I'll keep moving on.
So you're not looking inside of it?
I'll skim it, like just see if there's any like flip through a book to see if there's like any papers or any or if it's like got a hidden compartment in it or whatever. Just like yeah.
So the annotations, like you're looking at those because you figured maybe that'll be safer than reading the actual text. Mm-hmm. Is in a very loopy hand that is drawing cursive. And the other notable feature is the inside cover is signed "To My Beloved Perseverance." Proverbs 1:8-9 from J.A. Titus.
Oh no.
Was it hi occult? I probably know that proverb, and also with history too. What is it?
I'm say you probably know that. My son, hear the instruction of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother, for they will be a graceful ornament on your head and a chain about your neck.
I'll make an occult roll to understand the significance of that. I make that. Yeah.
So is probably completely literal. Titus is probably communicating to Perseverance that this is necessary teaching. It is important that Perseverance understands this, and it also communicates some kind of familial relationship.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. So I'll make a note of it and move on.
Okay, the next title, and this is 10 minutes later, is Auditory Synesthesia, the Influence of Sound on Human Cognition.
Okay. Does it have any notes before I decide to skim it or not?
No, it doesn't look like it is.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it's been like dog-eared or something. But
All right, I'll move on then. Yeah.
okay. A stack of music magazines dating from 1993 onwards, including NME, Kerrang, Music Monthly, and various college rags, and numerous homemade fanzines. They are all shelved together.
Okay. If there's no like handwritten notes or anything like that, I'm not gonna bother. Okay. Yeah. Keep moving on.
Okay. Odds or evens?
Odds.
You smell something strange. It is very acrid. It is biting. And you feel a change in the air, pressure around you, as though something unseen has just slipped past you and brushed against your clothing.
Is the door still open?
Door is still open.
I don't like this. We need to leave.
Okay. I'll trust your instincts. Yeah. We can
It was
come
just
back later.
the smell, right? Just the smell and the feeling?
A smell and a feeling.
What was the smell of?
Acrid.
Okay. Yeah. If Jennifer gets spooked, I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're here for a while. There's no need to push it right now and here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, is there anything else you want to try to do until dinner? You've wasted about a half hour.
Oh, before we leave, are there any like nooks, crannies, something where we can stash stuff for future reference?
It is like wall to wall. Like it curves and stuff with the shape of the room. It is appeared though this like room was built for the express intention of storing as many books as possible. So yeah, you could probably pull stuff out and put things behind other books, but like as far as like nooks and crannies and or behind a desk or something, that's not possible.
Okay. Okay. In that case, would it spend like half an hour?
Mhm.
I don't imagine we'd have time to go down to the guest houses and for any amount of time before we get summoned for dinner.
I mean, you could go drop stuff off, but then you'd have to come right back.
Okay.
I mean, we kind of go to show up to dinner with our bags, so let's do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Drop our bags off, and then while we're at the cabins, I know that he doesn't seem to have any. We didn't see any security cameras, anything like that, but I'd like to check the rooms just to make sure there's nothing, no hidden cameras, nothing weird going on.
Rooms are completely normal. You don't even have to roll for it. They don't seem to have any monitoring devices. Roll in times 5.
26 under 75.
I fail.
This is a mark of trust between Titus and his clients. People that come here are not supposed to be here. They're not supposed to have visited this island. They're not supposed to have had these conversations. The lack of CCTVs is proof that Titus trusts them so that they can trust him. He will not be recording their faces or voices.
That's worrying.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I will.
Titus is the guy behind the Raytheon knife missile.
Maybe. Yeah, so is there anything else you want to do? You just want to go to dinner?
I'm definitely taking some Coke, a knife, and my gun, an ankle holster.
Are you taking the Coke now, or are you putting it in your jacket?
Putting it in the jacket. It's you know,
This
when
is-
I get stressed out. Yeah.
I made fun of you for the Coke, but considering the kind of party this is, they might offer some.
Yeah, exactly. Don't use your own supply if you get a free offer. But yeah.
So
He's got one full bag and one empty
It's-
bag.
My special little worker's aid. It's like coffee, but better.
You have the fucking fingernail and everything.
No. I'm way more discreet than that. Yeah.
This is his comfort bump.
Yeah.
Awful,
Comfort.
awful.
this is my rosary. It connects me to Jesus. No,
Look,
there's
I have to
not-
work very long hours, and I get paid a lot of money. So yeah, and I hang with a lot of. I have to deal with a lot of rich assholes for work. So
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah, so you head into the dining hall. It is very fancily apportioned. There is a beautiful dining table with a lovely cloth spread over it. There's very fancy silverware and things spread out on it. These are not the kind of people who are expected to know table etiquette, though, so it is more serviceable, like things like a good steak knife, just a normal fork, a spoon thing. You're not going to have to like know which one is the fucking crab claw cutter. Where are you choosing to sit?
I will sit. So obviously some dude like this is going to he's going to be sitting at the head of the table, the fanciest seat, yada, yada, yada. I will just try and sit as close to that as I can.
Okay. Where's everybody else sitting?
I'll sit near the Australians. Like between the Australians and like at least one of the other characters or the colonel, if I can. Yeah.
You notice that the American group is sitting between the Korean and Japanese groups.
Okay, yeah. All right. Huh.
That makes
right.
Probably out of necessity.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like okay.
Is anybody sitting next to Colonel Wesley?
I'll sit next to the colonel.
Okay.
If Ross is also sitting next to the colonel, then I will sit on his other side.
So we're at dinner. We're all seated. The maids begin to file in and bring out the dishes that you'll be eating. And it's so bold and yet disgusting. It's like if a child were to plan a menu for 30 people and they just put all of their favorite dishes on there with no thought into like the people having to actually eat them and the way in which they would. Like there's like a incredibly fancy like silver like bowl that's set out that's then filled with fucking Tostitos chips. The item next to it appears to be chili mixed with sour cream, and it's intended to be a dip. There's just plates of ribs, there's fried chicken, there's meatloaf, like big portions of meatloaf. It's insane. Around this time, once the food is done being served, there are 2 chairs that are still empty. They're at opposite sides of the table. You can roll alertness.
I make that with a 4.
The other older maid is
fail.
talking to Perseverance on the edge of the room, you know, because the maids are all standing around the table because that's what you do when you're a servant. And they're whispering about not being able to find the captain. And Perseverance says that's normal. He'll show up if he wants to.
Interesting. As before, I stare a little too hard at Perseverance.
Suddenly there is an explosion of confetti at the head of the table.
Confetti?
It is a massive cloud of it that just goes everywhere, including into the dishes closest to that side of the table.
Instinctively cover my plate.
As the master of the house appears, he looks like he's in his 50s, maybe 60s, and he looks like he couldn't decide what wizard-style outfit he wanted to go with. He's wearing like these occulty looking robes, but then over that is like a tabard-looking material that makes him seem like a court sorcerer from like early China. He's got these massive like gilded moon symbols sewn into everything that would like normally you'd see a star pattern, but it is just like different phases of the moon. To call it like clownish or like cartoonish, I think would be an understatement. It doesn't look like any normal person would wear this, but the guests are completely unfazed. This appears to be normal for John Titus. He welcomes all of you to his banquet. He says he's so excited for the festivities tomorrow. He hopes that this feast will, you know, break down the differences between us and bring us closer as people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then waves for all of you to dig in as he's seated. Perseverance and the other older maid are the ones that serve him. They bring him a goblet full of what looks like Kool-Aid and set down a high C Hawaiian punch cooler on the table.
I start eating.
We're 100% sure that's Kool-Aid, right?
More or less.
Okay.
Estelle's just taking all food within reach and just housing it.
Yep, just putting it on her plate. It's the same as before. A very dutiful kind of consumption.
Yeah, Julian specifically eating like the mildest food like that is there. Yeah,
Dinner rolls.
Yeah, basically like the stuff that looks the safest to eat and isn't likely to cause problems later on. Like he's just approaching this tactically rather than like
Bafflingly, about halfway through the actual like eating portion of the dinner, Titus turns into a sort of theatrical act. He begins showing the diner guests a number of sleight of hand tricks, like shuffling decks of cards and finding cards and that kind of thing. The people nearest to him have to humor him.
Damn it.
So you're sitting there and he's like constantly like, pick a card, any card.
I'll grab a card.
So he takes it and like tells you to like look at it, and he puts it back in the deck, but like very obviously it's sticking out when he's shuffling it. Like it is probably some of the worst like practical magic you think you've ever seen in your life. You're thinking to yourself, I'm going to have to work my way up to a pity applause. And then everybody roll alertness.
I make the 39.
I make with a 16.
I fail again. I'm just rolling high.
You got to take some of that Coke, buddy. Wake up.
Stand.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. No. I make that with 38. Just barely.
62 under 7.
What was it?
If you make it, you don't take any.
Oh, so I don't have to check.
So the sleight of hand is bafflingly incompetent. It is, again, the worst sleight of hand you've ever seen in your life. And he holds up the card, and then he puts it between both hands. He says some kind of like mumbled hullabaloo, and the card disappears. He doesn't have his hands all the way together, so you can watch it fold into some dark space between his hands, and it's gone. It is not there anymore.
Okay, great. Estelle will lean forward. I assume I'm close enough to speak to him.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you learn that trick?
He smiles and he says, it's one of the many tricks I know. He tells you, hold out your hands and make a little bit of space in between them and hold your thumbs at right angles.
Right angles? Okay.
Can you please roll sand?
I make with a 5.
So you don't take any, but your hands itch. Feel something exist very suddenly between them. And when you open them, you are holding the card he made disappear.
Great. Okay. So not only is he a fucking Twitter billionaire, or whatever, he's a fucking wizard.
Maybe. All right, last time. Odds or evens?
Me or anybody?
Anybody.
Odds?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yes.
Okay. So halfway, then after this, like you're getting towards the end of the dinner when the captain finally decides to make an appearance. He opens the door somewhat unceremoniously, doesn't really announce his presence, just goes and sits at the end of the table, kind of huffs at the food that's available, doesn't greet anyone, doesn't introduce himself, just begins eating. He looks like a very haggard man, probably in his late 40s, early 50s, kind of hard to tell. Pretty nondescript sort of face. But he doesn't really look like he takes good care of himself. Like his hair's kind of a mess. He's got like a patchy beard. He probably doesn't shave too often. He's wearing one of those like army surplus coats, like the big ones. And he's draped around him in a way that suggests like familiarity. Like he's had this for a long time. You can see that it's starting to wear through in places where he has like patched it multiple times. And he just seems extremely out of place for everything about this. Like Titus may be insane, but he's very well put together. The guests are all like, like normal-ish people. The maids are very like clean and exact, as is the manor. And here's just this man sitting here. Everybody turns to regard him. And who was it that was sitting next to Colonel Wesley?
That was me.
You see an entire journey appear on his face as he stares at this man. His brow furrows, he starts working his jaw, his eyes widen in some kind of recognition, and he just says, Carter? Before collapsing onto the table. And I think that's what we're going to call it for today.
Oh, no.
Thank you for everybody playing in this Delta Green scenario today. New, never before seen indie RPG. We'll be back later with the second half of this, where we learn, why is the rich guy a fucking wizard?
No, that's actually what is the rich guy wizard up to? That's the question I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't care why. It's pretty easy. He read the books and he fucking learned. But what's he doing? What's he building in here? That's what I want to know. Yeah.
So this makes you much more confident about your ability to read through the books without going insane, right?
Yeah.
What are the maids up to?
Yeah.
The maid just noticed me like that.
What's the deal with perseverance? Yeah.
Why did a 15-year-old ghost sit down to dinner? Who knows?
Yeah.
Is Colonel Wesley okay?
He looks like he's having the early signs of a heart attack, so probably fine.
Oh, no. Does anybody have first aid or medicine?
Yeah. So
Actually, I do.
Oh, God. We're doomed.
Yeah, I've got it pretty high.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's where we're going to leave it for today, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.